Welcome back, Gems, to another wonderful episode of the Grateful Gem podcast. I'm your host, Jasmine Shannelle, and today's topic is going to be the perfect timing. So stick around because gems are definitely about to get dropped. So stay tuned. I need everyone listening to this podcast episode to follow us on Instagram at the Grateful Gem Pod, and also follow me at Jasmine Shannelle. Don't worry, I spelled everything out and left it in the notes below. Take a look. See you there. Now let's get into this episode. Welcome back, Gems. How y'all doing? What's going on? Where you been? Who you saw? What you know? Let me know. Hey, you guys. I'm so excited. We are on episode 25. Woo! 25. I'm so excited. I really think that this episode is going to be so awesome due to the unseen circumstances that we are all faced with right now. I know that you are aware of the coronavirus outbreak. However, disclaimer, this episode will not be about the coronavirus. However, I do want to let you guys know that I pray that you continue to keep safe, your family is safe, that everything is well with you and your family. Continue to take precautions and take it serious, but don't get anxious about it. And I know that a lot of people have extended, I know in my county, we have extended schools. I know a lot of school spring break has been extended. So people are having to work from home. People are having to call out of work and get extra time off to watch their babies or watch their kids while they're out for an extra week. I know that these are some foreseen circumstances that we did not see coming. However, this is not going to be an episode where we're going to sit around and talk about how you can be sitting at home watching TV and eating junk food. No, we're not doing that. So if this is you, or if this information that I just spoke about resonates with you some kind of way, if you're home, or if you're having to work from home, or if you're having to go through some difficulties during this time, I want you to take this time to honestly just look at it as a blessing in disguise. I know you may not feel like that right now, but if you are home for an extra week, hopefully you're getting paid. But if you are not, I just want to give you a few things that I have honestly been paying attention to since this whole thing started. And it is really waking my eyes up. And I hope that it also resonates with you, because I would not want this information to go unheard or for people to continue to be anxious about what's going on. So honestly, this episode is going to be for people that have been thinking about that business or thinking about how to create other streams of income, but just have not been able to do so. So let's talk about how all of this started up. So previously, like last year, around the end of the year, I had started listening to certain different podcasts. You guys know I love podcasts. But I was listening to a few podcasts, and a lot of people were doing interviews with real estate brokers and real estate investors and things like that. And everybody was saying that, there's a lot of articles going around saying that there was going to be a recession for the end of 2019 and 2020. So if you're looking to buy a home, that this is honestly the best time, because rates are going to be so low, so to prepare for that. Mind you, this was in the around this time last year. And in my head, I'm sitting here thinking wait a minute, how can you foresee a recession? Of course, I know they look at statistics of the economic growth, businesses. A lot of businesses, if you haven't noticed, have been closing. A lot of things have shifted. There's a lot of big corporations that have closed down, that are being bought out. I feel like that there's still room in the world for your business. I still feel like that if God placed it on your heart, then you definitely should go ahead and do it. And I know you may be afraid, and I know that you may think that, I'm glad I didn't start that business, or I'm glad I didn't start that side hustle, because I feel like at the end of the day, we're in a recession again. This is 2008 all over again. Let me tell you something. No, it's not. Okay. I feel like, that baffled me because I'm like, wow, we're in 2019. We're already talking about a year that hasn't even come. And I feel like we put so many predictions on the world when we honestly don't know how the world is going to play out. Do I believe that some things are pre-planned? Yes, I do, but this is not the podcast for that. So we're going to move right past that topic. However, getting back on focus, I do feel like, there are some things that we can also take precautions to. And as I was sitting at work, I was just doing my journaling as I do. And I was just writing. And I was thinking like all these episode topics start coming to my head. And that's why this, as you will see, this message is going to be a little delayed, maybe by a day or so. And it's because I wanted to make sure that I am putting out the right information for you guys at the right time. Because as you guys know, I don't want to just upload something to you guys because I feel like you need to hear me talking. No, I'm not doing that. I want to make sure that God agrees with what I'm telling you guys and that He gives me information to give to you. And I'm so glad that I came across this information because I remember when I was listening to those podcast episodes, when I was listening to, and I was actually listening to home staging podcasts as well, looking at different things for my interior design business. So yes, if you don't know, I do have a interior design business that I started in 2017, and I'm really starting to take it serious now. I've been doing my mood board events, and I've really been good with that. I'm trying to figure out when I'm going to do the next one, especially with the coronavirus going around. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, so I was listening to the Cindy Lynn Homestaging podcast. Her podcast is very informational. I've connected with her on social media. She's very informational. She's willing to help. I love it. Just looking for, some advice on how I should do certain things and if things that I had in mind were good ideas, because I don't want to be like any other home staging company. I want to stick out. I want to be hands-on. I don't want to be just solely known on Instagram or on the internet. I want to be out word of mouth. I'm a traditional girl, so things that I typically do, I like to do by traditional means, so I like to do old-fashioned stuff. Yeah, that just set in. I just realized what I said. But anyways, so yeah, I like to do old-fashioned stuff. So I'm sitting here journaling, writing, and all these topics are coming to me. Literally, I have like 4 episodes already written out. And I'm just like, okay, God, I have all these ideas. I have all this stuff. But which one do you want me to talk about next? Because like I said, I don't want to put anything out that's premature or something that I'm not supposed to put out right now. I want to put out something that you can resonate with. So I got this I got this word, and it said, His timing, not mine. And I was reading Jeremiah 29:11. And so I was going to title this episode Shot Clock, because if you know the song by Ella Mai, Shot Clock, if you don't know it, I'll link it down in the notes so you'll hear it, but I'm pretty sure you know that. I'll also link the lyrics so you can read the lyrics, because basically it's talking about her dating this dude. They've been dating for 5 years. She's ready to move on to the next stage. He hasn't done that. So she's basically giving him a time frame where it's like, either you're going to wife me or take it serious or not, So I feel like we do that with a lot of stuff in our life. We put a time frame on where our success should go. We put a time frame on relationships. We put a time frame on, the things that we see fit for our life. But we have to remember that it's His time and not ours. So if we're jumping the gun before it's time for us to move, how would that impact us? And I know I talked a little bit about this in the previous podcast, so I'm not going to get too much into it. And if you haven't heard that, I will also link that in the notes as well, so you can go back and take a listen to it. I have actually a few of them that will resonate with this and help you with figuring out when the right time and when God says yes. And even when He says no, but then later says yes. Because also when God tells you no, it doesn't mean that He's telling you no completely. He could just be saying no denied or no delayed. So make sure you're getting the right confirmation from God. And don't forget to always take whatever someone is telling you back to God and line it up with what He said to you. And again, I'm going to link those in the notes below. So hopefully you'll be able to listen to those once you get a chance. But getting back on topic, I was sitting at my desk and I'm like, okay, His time and not mine. That's good. Jeremiah 29:11. I'm also going to link that in the notes so you will get that verse as well. Put it on your desk, put it on your phone, make a picture for it, keep it by you, because we tend to get so hasty and move out of our feelings, and we don't really do stuff the right way. So I'm sitting at work and I'm thinking about, like, what is this coronavirus stuff about? Like, what is it doing? And I think about, of course, Lord forbid that it's killing people. It's getting people sick, but not trying to downplay this situation, but we have things out here in the world that's killing us. Diabetes, AIDS. We have people living with diabetes. We have people living with AIDS. We have common flu has killed more people than we can imagine. So it's like, this isn't anything new. And the coronavirus has already been out. So it's not anything that we haven't already seen. But the question that I ask myself is, why is it being so overrated right now, And I look at information. I literally, today and Friday, I was looking at some things on the internet, just trying to figure out, what's going on in our world right now while the coronavirus is happening or this outbreak is, taking place. And, I think about there's trips being canceled. There's concerts being canceled, shows being canceled. People can't go to work. Kids can't go to school. You can't really eat out because a lot of places are shutting down because you can't gather more than 250 people. Some places are saying 50 people or more you can't do. So basically, this world is literally shutting down one by one. You will find one or two businesses that are still running, that are still trying to make money because they understand what's going on. And so I want to just open your eyes and help you understand what's going on too, because I don't want you to feel like, oh, this is just happening to me. I don't have a choice. I can't make anything, because you can. And this is, again, for people that need a way besides their 9 to 5. And it's funny because I was literally talking to my best friend yesterday, and I was telling her about how I stumbled across a post on Instagram, and the lady was talking about how everyone needs to invest in not only just having a 9 to 5, but having a business. And I was like, I don't really agree with that, because everybody's not business savvy. Everybody's not called to business. And to be honest, I still agree with that. However, I always have a rebuttal. But however, I looked at it in a different way, because I feel like right now, we're looking, or not us, because I don't know your situation, but a lot of people in this world are not relying on a outside business because they're afraid of what the economic crash looks like. People are scared to take a leap of faith because of things like this. You have corporations losing money, corporations closing doors, people aren't getting paid at their corporate job. So you think about, if you start a business and how this will affect you, not only you, but the employees that you hire at this business. You're literally going to be the source that feeds other people. So you can be a little bit overwhelmed by things that happen like this. But this honestly has helped me realize at a different stance, because we have to be prepared. And I know if you've heard me in the previous posts and podcasts say that God blesses what you prepare for. And I feel like, this is something that we have to be better prepared for, not only mentally, but financially. And I feel like we're not in our right minds right now, because we're so anxious. We're listening to what the media is feeding us, and we're moving out of fear. But we need to be level-headed, and we need to be unanxious about what it is that's going on. If you ever get anxious in the times that we're living in, you need to read your word. I was about to say your bird. Lord forgive me. You need to read your word. Psalms 91. Do not fear. God says this 1,000,000 times in the Bible. Do not fear. Don't worry about what's in front of you, what comes through darkness. Do not worry about it. Do not fear. So I really feel like, that is the first thing. Get your head back in the game. Leveling up your mindset so that you can put your head on straight. I know that 401ks are looking crazy. Stocks are looking crazy. Banks are not. Some of those are closing due to this outbreak. So it's like, okay, what do you do? When you can't get extra money, or when you don't want to touch money because at the end of the day, you really don't have it to spend. So I came up with these few things, and I think it'll really help us. I don't believe that everybody is called to business, but I do believe there are several ways that we can make a little bit of extra money that secure a place in our life to at least pay 1 or 2 bills. And I feel like the overall goal is to be set with or without a corporate job. So it could just be you going to thrift stores and refurbishing furniture. Think about it. If I go to work from 7:30 to 4 and I get off every day around 4 and I spend an hour at the thrift store, 4 to 5, or I would say like 4:30ish to 5:30, depending on how close the closest thrift store is to you. You can go to the thrift store literally for an hour. Sometimes it might not even take that long, but me, I'm a thorough shopper. Sometimes I'm like, okay, cool, 10 minutes, and then the next minute I'm like, okay, cool, 5 minutes. But serious though, you could go for an hour, look around, see what they have, and I'm telling you, you can get some nice stuff. Like, you can find some really nice stuff for really cheap. So say you just find like a dresser, right? And say that you're creative, you like to paint, you like to decorate, antique stuff in your home. You are good with that type of stuff. That's just what you do. So okay, cool. So you go to the thrift store. You spend an hour there, you find some good items, and you only come out of pocket. Say you get a dresser for $50, and then you buy like a nightstand that goes along with the dresser for like $20. So you literally just spent $70 on 2 items. You can resell those prices. You can look online to see what the market value is for a typical piece like that. You can go on Wayfair.com. You can go on Amazon. You could go on Ross and Maid. There's just a million places you could go on. You could go on IKEA. Well, IKEA doesn't really have like antique stuff, but you can look like at a basic dresser set and see what they're pricing if it's similar to that. But the moral of the story is there's a million places that you can compare and come up with the price out how much you pay for it and the materials that it takes to refurbish it and turn it into a piece that would be perfect to sell, and then post it. Literally, you can put it on Facebook, whatever that little group is on Facebook that sells stuff. OfferUp, I think it's called. I don't know if that's through Facebook or not. No, I don't think it is. But anyways, yes, you can put it on Facebook. You can put it on OfferUp. You can put it on Amazon. I don't know how you get affiliated with Amazon or how you do that, but you can put it on there. You can put out not a Craigslist, Lord, Craigslist. People on there be crazy, but the moral of the story is that's a quick. Say you pay $70 altogether. $50 for the dresser, and then $20 to buy the materials needed to refurbish it, and then you resell it for $200. Boom! You got some money. You make a profit, like $250. And if you're looking at stuff and the market value for that price is extremely higher than what you were initially quoted, be realistic. Don't just try to boost it up to the toppest price because you're trying to get the most for your money. Think logically. And I think sometimes that's where we get a little over our heads, because we have good ideas, but because we get greedy, we miss out on a good thing, because people don't want to spend too much, especially when you have Amazon and Walmart and Burlington and all these other factories or stores that have typically the same items. Or they can also do what you just did. They can go to Goodwill. But some people, they like those type of things, but they don't want to buy it. So they have a problem. You're the solution. Their problem is they need an antique dresser. You're the solution because you just found an antique dresser. You refurbished it, repainted this thing, little brand spanking new. It's made out of real wood. It got accents in it. You put your detail on it, and then you put your little name on there, and you start taking pictures of all the stuff you do it before and after, and you get you a logo off of 1-in-1 or GoDaddy and start you a website. Hello. Who I'm talking to? Like, seriously, this is not the time to be sitting at home talking to your friend about how you missing money, how you don't have no daycare for the kids. Come up with a solution that can at least cover your phone bill, or at least start small. Like, let me tell you, start small. If your phone bill is $40, well, my phone bill is $40, but I'm going to be realistic. A lot of people's phone bills are like $100 or something. $100. Let's say your phone bill is $100. So your phone bill is $100, right? And say you do this. Say you don't even buy the 2 pieces, but you just bought one. So you get the dresser, that's $70. You spend $20 on it to refurbish it. So 7 or 50, 20, that's 70, right? So you paid $70 out of pocket, and then you up price it. So if you want to make a profit, you could do 70, that's 140. So you could do I would say at least $200. You may can even go for $250 depending on what the market value price is for that right now. And because all this stuff is going on, you're probably going to get a person that's either like retired or like a stay-at-home mom or someone that's looking for stuff like that. Even people that have jobs that are sitting at home, they have money or financial plans set up so they budget for this type of stuff. So make sure you're not going in over your head. Just price it accordingly, you know. So boom, that's just your side hustle right there. And it doesn't take much. You're spending an hour a day looking for stuff. So if you find that piece, okay, you pick that up on Monday. Tuesday, you spend the time getting or figuring out how you want to redo it. You take an hour doing that. Then you go get supplies. Boom. Wednesday, you go back to the store. Find you another piece. Boom. Do the same thing on Thursday. So Monday, Tuesday are for that one piece. Wednesday, Thursday is for that one piece. And then you have Friday, Saturday to get those pieces refurbished and then post it so you can resell them. I just gave you a whole business. Okay? And you might be like, oh, well, I don't know how to do that. Okay, cool. Let's move on. Okay, say you like to cook. You're at home with your kids and you have to cook them breakfast. You have to cook them lunch. You have to cook them dinner. Hello, you have a phone. I'm pretty sure you have an iPhone or Android or a phone that records. I don't even care what kind of phone it is because I'm not brandlistic. I don't really care, like, you know, what brand you have. You have a phone that can record. Boom, cool. Get your phone. Have one of your kids record you. Or have somebody helping you set up these videos. Start your YouTube channel with your cooking. Because let me tell you, once you start from that one and you upload a good video, people will start clicking. And then you share it on your social media platform. You share it on Facebook or Pinterest. Like, there's so many ways where you can do so many things. Like, you do from start to finish. You put the recipe that you're doing, put the picture of the ingredients, and then you do, if you want to do picture process, step 1, put the butter in the pan. So boom, you take a picture of the pan with the butter in it. Step 2, put the garlic in the pan with the butter. So if you want to do, instead of doing a butter picture, you can do a butter and a garlic picture. Boom, you post that. Then say you make a shrimp scampi. So you put your butter in there, put your garlic in there, then you season lightly your shrimp, put your salt and pepper in there, and then put your shrimp in the pan. So boom, picture of that. You know what I'm saying? Step-by-step pictures. That literally takes not even extra minutes. The only thing that you will have to do is honestly edit the photos or edit the pictures and the photos. And if you record that on Monday, edit it on Tuesday, post it by Wednesday. Literally. And if you do at least 2 of these a week, you're bound to get some subscribers. You're bound to get some people. And by the time you know you got a check from YouTube, hey. Like, so serious, you guys. Like, this pandemic right here, it has really opened my eyes. I'm like, gosh, like, look at all the jobs that aren't work from home, but people are working from home. And they're like, oh, we can't make this a work from home position because da-da-da-da. But you at home and you working. People don't realize that. You don't look at it like that. And you invest yourself into a business, into a company, into someone else's dream for 20, 30 years. And you can't even get time off for the coronavirus. Like, let's be serious. So I really think that God is just saying to us that you have to have a clear mind and see what's really going on. Care about yourself more than they do, because at the end of the day, not saying that all companies are this, because you have some companies that genuinely care, especially small business. You have a lot of small businesses that care, but you just want to be the number one person to yourself. You want to show yourself that you care, and you don't want to be losing money. You need stuff that while you're sleeping, it's still making you money. So your YouTube can do that. Your Pinterest can do that. Your podcast can do that. Your interior design business can do that. Your blog can do that. Your organization business can do that. Let's say you're a real neat freak and you got a friend whose house just cluttered. You go over there like, girl, you home for the virus too? Good. Girl, I'm going to come over there and help you organize. Matter of fact, I'm going to do it all for you. Boom. Take a picture before. Make sure it's okay with her. Because I would hate for you to get on there posting her pictures. And she like, girl, I didn't tell you to post that. That's embarrassing. Da, da, da. But you go over there and you take a picture of before and after of each room that you organize. And you start your organizing business. Come on, people gonna be like, oh girl, how you did that? Or you start some tips. make an Instagram, put your tips up, how to stay organized, how to stay neat, or office space. Create some content for that. People are looking for these things. You are the solution to people's problem. Seriously, like, we cannot take another L. And I really feel like God is saying to us that this is the time that you birth what is inside of you. And I'm not talking about just no kid, because if you pregnant, girl, don't you push that baby out before it's time. But seriously, with the businesses and with the ideas that you have, you need to birth those. You need to be aware of what it is that God is telling you to do. Are you loving this episode? Great. Don't forget to leave your feedback by rating and leaving a review on Apple iTunes. Also, don't forget to subscribe anywhere, wherever you're listening to this podcast. And make sure that you follow us on Instagram to keep up in the know of what's going on with the podcast. Okay, let's get back to the episode. I just strongly believe that we're in a time where there's nothing but possibilities around us, and we have to literally stay focused on what it is that God is putting in front of us and not focus on what's going on around us. You have to be able to discern and know that everything happens for a reason. There's no such thing as a coincidence. And I really feel like God is telling us that it's his timing and this is the time. Don't be focused on what the media is sharing. Don't be on Instagram scrolling. The time that you take, let me tell you, I get so distracted. Like today, I came in here, I was like, okay, when I get off, I'm going to record this podcast episode because I know that God put it on my heart. I'm going to go ahead and record it. Okay, I've been home for a few hours, and I've been home for 4 hours, and I spent the last 40 minutes recording this. And it wasn't because I didn't have content. It wasn't because I didn't know what I was going to post or say. It was because I was watching TV. I was talking on the phone, FaceTiming my friend. I was scrolling Instagram. Every time I picked up the phone and said I was going to start recording, I literally scrolled on Instagram. And then I was like, oh, what's this? And I'm listening to this. Yes, girl, preach. Like, you got to go hard for your business the way that you go hard for other people. You have to go hard for yourself. And at the end of the day, I'm not saying that you can't push anybody else up, because you can. And I want you to root for them. Be happy for others as well. But in the meantime, support them and support yourself too. Don't be sitting on the sidelines waiting for something to blow across your head, and you're like, oh, I'm going to start a business for that, or I'm going to start a side hustle for that, or I'm finna do this. And if you feel like, oh, girl, you preaching, this is good information, but I still feel like the business thing isn't for me. And like I said, everybody is not called to business. So I'm not saying that you have to go out here and start a whole business, but I feel like you do need to have more than one income stream rather than just your corporate America job. Because I feel like at the end of the day, when things like this happen, you still need something to make you money. So go buy you a house, get you a home. That's gonna give you money over time. That's an investment. Equity from that, please, you got it. Invest, get your stocks. I really feel like, when investing is a gamble too, though, because it's based on an economy, so you need something that's going to be stand full. And I really feel like it's being a solution to a problem that someone has. And you may feel like, oh, I'm not fit for this, but I feel like everyone has an entrepreneur spirit. Everyone has that business-like mindset. Everyone has that go-getter in them. You just have to be able to realize it and not just be going out here doing all kind of crazy stuff because you feel like, oh, Jasmine told me. No, I did not. I did not say that. I said find what you're good at and make it into a side hustle, so that when things like this happen, you have to plan an extra week outside of your 9-to-5 job. You have something to fall back on, because some places, they're out of work and they're not getting paid. Think about if we go into a government shutdown, the government workers are not going to get paid. And remember how that was last year. There was literally post office people, bank people, government officials that aren't getting paid for working, or they're off of work and not getting paid. People going on strike because they can't pay. And I remember I worked at this center with dealing with home mortgages, and I really want to get in I really feel like I'm called to like the mortgage industry. I really want to invest in real estate. I want to invest in, that's another thing. I want to do real estate investing. So I want to buy those old raggedy apartment buildings that have like 6 apartments in them, and I want to redo those and rent those out for a decent price. And that's another thing. While things are like this is going on, you got people living there that's paying you rent every month, and you don't use that. You put it in your savings. So I feel like there's a number of options that they're out there for you when you don't even have to do a lot. You just have to get with the right people that will help you do those correctly. So I feel like, there is nothing but time. This is the time to do it. You have a whole week left to do these things. Today is Monday, so you have the next 4 days to plan a side hustle while you're at home. Google is your best friend. You got a phone, use that phone for something productive. Let's be productive in this time, because we don't know what is going to happen tomorrow. What if they push spring break to another week? And I see a lot of places are literally closing from now until like April 5th. That's a long time to be out of work, you guys. So if you could sit home and take these hours and invest and take money, if you have it, to start making that side hustle, then do that. Or if you need to start investing in other stuff that's going to guarantee that you're making money, then you do that. If you are good with credit, you need to start giving free credit advice and free consultations for people for their credit, so that they can get stuff out of their credit and they can buy things with their credit and stop using their money. So you'll have credit to buy with and put your money aside. If you're a real estate agent, help them get in contact with people that have credit repairing processes. And then you get them into a home. This is the time. Every service that you have is everything that this world needs. And I feel like God really put on my heart that it's His time, and this is the time. There's not enough time in a day for us not to at least dedicate 30 minutes to an hour into something that we can be productive in. And I'm not saying you have to go out here and plan this multi-corporation business, multi-million-dollar corporate business, but I am saying that you should be able to leave yourself a legacy to your family if you leave this world, or if something like this happens, you have something to fall back on to. Because what happens when people and jobs start laying everybody off? And if you listen to a lot of people that started a business, it was because they got laid off. There's this lady I follow on Instagram, Simply Scents candles. She makes candles and she's doing a good job. She has like a paint with a twist company, but it's with candles. You decorate wine glasses and she fills it up with candles, and you pick your scent and stuff like that. She does really good. She has a lot of businesses inside of that. She does a room oil, she does candles, she has the party booking planning, and she's there, and it's just her and a few other people. So you don't have to do something drastic, but do something reasonable. And I listened to one of her interviews, and I didn't know that, but she had got laid off of her job, and that's when people were saying, girl, you make those sweet smelling candles, they last forever, they so decadent, you should start selling candles. And she did. She literally started selling them out her trunk. So you have to start somewhere. That's just like Janelle Stevens, the lady that owns the hair product line. She started making stuff with her KitchenAid, trying to provide a way for her family, and it took off. It blew up. Her business, I can't think of the name of her business right now, her hairline business, but you know what I'm talking about. Y'all know Janelle. She makes the natural hair products, but she does really good. She was a single mom, and she literally started using her red KitchenAid to make hair products and natural remedies for skin conditions and everything. So if she can do it, you can do it. And you don't have to be no Beyonce and no Tyra Banks. You can be an average person and make a living for yourself. You have to just be dedicated and have the right mindset. And if you don't know where to start, get you some mentors. I'm in a program that's called SCORE here in my city, and they have them all over, because when I lived in Georgia, they also had those there. And they're free mentors that assist you with your business needs. So if you don't have an accountability partner, or you don't trust people with your business information, go there. They're experienced business owners, and they can tell you how to get it on track. And I'm meeting with mine coming up probably at the end of this month. It's going to be awesome. She's been so helpful. I reached out to her before I moved to Atlanta, and then I moved and I came back and I scheduled a meeting, and I just so happened to get her again, and she was really, really helpful. She helped me redo everything for my business, from looking over my website to changing my price list. And she was the one who really instilled in me the confidence, because we were just talking and she was like, Jasmine, I literally asked you one question and you just gave me a whole essay. And she was like, you didn't stumble over your words, you didn't rethink it. She was like, you know this stuff, so why are you sitting around playing it small? She was like, stop playing it safe. You have to show people that you're confident in what you're doing and that you believe in what it is that you're wanting me to believe in. If I can see that you're not confident in what it is that you're doing, how am I supposed to believe in your business? And there's too many events out here, and I really strongly want to talk on this, because with networking, I feel like you don't have to go to every networking event. I feel like you need to discern which ones you go to, because there's a lot of people out here doing the same stuff. Some of them making it and some of them faking it. Let's just be real. There's people out here that saying that they making millions and they ain't making nothing. The only millions they're making is from the events that you registering for. So let's just be real. Me and my coworker had to talk about that today, about an event that's coming up and it got canceled, and the lady didn't want to give a refund because she's thinking that, in reality, she probably don't have the money. So then it's just like, what if this is your mentor and you're teaching me about budgeting and how to go about doing events, but you're not being a good practice of what you're preaching? You have to literally do your research, and you have to know who you're up under, because this is your child. You're birthing this business. So you cannot let just somebody who want to be somebody come up in your business and tell you how to run something when they ain't running nothing but their mouth. Let's just be real. And I feel like even it can be so simple. Okay, you got kids, they growing, you got clothes at the house that they're not wearing no more. Take that stuff to Plato's Closet. Take that stuff to, what's the children's store? The children's store, I think it's called. Donate that stuff and get money for it. And put that in the savings account for them. Like, there's so many things that you can do to make a little income. And I'm saying I'm starting small, because small things turn out big. You do that over time, you'll watch it grow. And just learn how to take the good with the bad. Yeah, you may be out of work for a week, but this week gives you time to do the things that you've been wanting time to do. How many of us procrastinate on doing things that we're supposed to do because we don't have enough time? And for those of you that aren't working at home, that's actually just home, using vacation time or sick time, you're still getting paid. So you can be at home thinking of ways where when this happens, you can still have other revenues of income. You can use your time if you want to, or you cannot. You want to have options. Don't ever be put in a situation where you don't have options. And I really, really, really strongly am preaching not only to you, but to myself, because when I thought about this, I was like, this is crazy. Like, a virus is going around and companies are literally closed. Employees are not getting paid for a week, 2 weeks at a time. And we don't know how long this is going to last. And I don't think that it's going to be anything major. I feel like it's going to blow over soon. And I know that we're going to come out all right, because I don't have no fear in this. I know that God has the last say so, and he will shut this down. But in the meantime, while we're trusting God, how are we getting our income? And if you feel like this message is for you, I strongly suggest that you do these steps. 1, you start writing down what it is that you're good at. Or writing down things where people give you advice on making that into a business. And really think logically, should I turn this into a business? Is this something that I can get profit from? And then plan on how you're going to start that. You can do all of this in this week. It don't take that long. Come up with a plan and then execute it. It doesn't have to be rocket science. It's easy. Figure it out. Figure it out. I really hope that this really makes sense. I really do, because I know that there's a lot of businesses out here. There's a lot of people out here. There's a lot of businesses that's not making money. There's a lot of things that's going on. But I just feel like, again, God is saying that in his timing. And even if this doesn't happen within the next month or so, God is giving you the time to figure out what it is right now that you need to do. And if it's not a business, if it's just helping someone or volunteering, go to God first. Figure out what God is telling you to do with your time. Is it volunteering? Is it going to your child's school? Is it spending time with your kids? Is it spending time with your family? Is it, you know what I'm saying? What is it that God is calling you to do? You like taking care of elderly people? Should you change jobs? Should you start a nonprofit for elderly people? Should you start your own daycare that help in situations like this? What is it that God is asking you to do or calling you to do that you've been procrastinating when it comes to your income? Have you been tithing? Have you been budgeting? Have you been spending wisely? And I can honestly say I've been budgeting and I've been tithing all year. And I'm seeing a little difference. I can honestly say that I am seeing a little difference. And I'm getting better and better every day. Each day is harder, because I like to go out to eat. But I just remember that God is calling me to do better. I want to buy a house by the end of this year. That's what God's calling me to do. I want to do some events and I'm going to need to have money to do this. I don't want to have to pay out of pocket or with the expenses that are for this event. I want to leave that until after everything has been secured and put that in my savings so that when things like this happen, I have revenue streams that are creating income for me while I'm asleep or while I'm at work. Not just something that's based in this economy, like a stock or a 401k or things like that, because the market fails every day. Not saying that you shouldn't do that. I think it's a great idea, but just remember that when the economy falls, so does your money. What happens when we have another Wells Fargo pandemic and people's money are being taken? So that's how I feel. I really strongly hope that this really resonated with you. I really feel like God put this on my heart for a reason. And when he gave me this time at first, I thought I was going to be talking about something else. But then he really worked on me this week and last week about this. And I'm like, you got it. This is what you want me to say. This is what I'm going to say. So I pray that you get in prayer. If you're anxious right now, don't be anxious because God got you. But while you're in this time, have a level head, think ahead, and start planning what it is that God wants you to do to get better hold of your income, to be better prepared for things like this when they happen. Or not even just for this, but for life in general. What happens when you need new tires on your car? When you need an oil change? When you need a new car? And you don't have streams of revenue that's coming in that generates that money, or you don't have a savings plan. Some of you is just honestly getting a savings plan together. Some of you don't even have to do a business. God didn't put that on your heart. Like I said, everybody's not called to business, but some of you guys have been tugging on your heart for years to start saving better so that he can bless you with what it is that you're asking for. You want a house, but you're not budgeting correctly. You make a ton of money, but you always broke. So, sorry if this came off rude, but this is God's words, not mine. I'm just a messenger, literally. But I want to thank you for listening in on this episode. Let me know how you feel. Let me know if you need help getting your ideas started. Let me know, because the thing that you are downplaying can really be a stream of income. If you're on a weight loss journey right now, you could be video your meal prepping ideas, videoing 15-minute workout plans. You could be drafting and copying down your weight loss journey. There's so many things that you could be doing, and people want that. You know how many people out here trying to lose weight? Yeah, there's Planet Fitness. Yeah, there's LA Fitness. But what if people are watching you and they're like, God, she's doing all of this. She's losing weight. She got this going on. And what if people really want to hear from you and you're not being obedient? So, again, I really hope that this resonated with you. I'm so happy that God placed it on my heart. And like I said, it's close to me because it really, really, really is something that we need to think about. I know you talk about it all the time. People talk about it all the time. We say it's easy, but you have to get started. Don't give up until you start. Because once you start, I'm telling you, you won't stop. So there is no giving up. But I love you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in on this episode. Keep shining at the gems you are. And don't forget to check out the show notes. And I'll see you on the next episode. Bye.